Recognize the habitat unit? That's where we're headed. Watch yourself. That first step's a doozy. We can jump if you like. You could handle the fall. But the indigents down there are another story. Some big, some mean, all nasty. Given our options, the high road here would be the safer way to go, relatively speaking. That said, whichever way you want to go, I'll follow your lead. You decide.
And she's quite right about that. I alluded to this earlier. Certain enemies you find on Mirror will attack you as soon as they detect you. You can tell an enemy's detection type by the icon next to their name. If they don't have an icon, they won't attack you unless you attack them. If they have an eye, they're visual, and they react when you enter their line of sight. If they have a sound or an auditory icon, they react when you wander too close, or if you go past them making too much noise, like, say, running. And Elma's telling us about sprinting, which is a toggle in this game. Alternatively, there's also an auto-run feature by pressing R and B. Now for me, I usually set it to toggle. It would be good to know level 4, level 6. We are level 2, I seem to recall. Before we do anything else. Active members, there we are. Elma's level 5, I'm level 2. Elma can probably take what's down below. However, I don't fancy my chances quite so much. Let's save. Before we move anywhere, let's take a look at our arts. And Elma's, if it'll allow us. Yeah. Because we unlocked one, Chrome Armor. This is a buff, grants physical res up. We also have Assault Hammer, which deals physical damage and inflicts topple. I'll get into what topple does a little bit later on. And we have Flame Grenade, which combos with it, as it gains a damage boost against targets that are toppled. It also deals thermal damage as opposed to physical damage. And it inflicts a debuff called Blaze. I'm also... Ooh! This is new as well. I like this new palette design. It only clicked for me that this is a very different palette design from what I'm used to, but... yeah. It organizes them by weapon type rather than by class. That's already a really big deal. We've got skills as well. Do we have any? I wouldn't expect so as a drifter. No, we do not. Let's just take a look, shall we? How big of a drop are we talking here, Elma? That is not a small drop. I'm trusting your word here, Elma. Let's go. I botched the first step. Ooh, there's treasure. And collectibles. Walking off the edge. Wonderful. Vehicle wreckage.
I can't let this new strength distract me.
The enemies down here are a bit stronger. Let's give it a try. Beach Vortex. Let's have a quick scan through of your appendages as well. Pincer, head, body, pincer. 2 pincers, left and right. Let's go.
Wear them down from a distance.
Target in sight!
Not a small amount of damage.
Shadow strike!
That's a stagger.
Assault hammer!
Knock him down.
Flame grenade!
Topple doesn't stay up for long, does it? Ooh, right. He's inflicted physical resistance down on us. That's why it was so weak. Also, our cooldowns take ages. We just have to shoot. It looks like Elma's broken its carapace, though. That's what the damage on the head looks like.
I should heal up
I need
first.
healing.
And have we broken either of the pincers yet? Oh, no, we haven't. Ooh, there's physical res down again. He could be in trouble here.
Oh, game and set.
Not
Nice
without
work.
the topple, though. That's a bit more of a challenge. Do we dare do it again? Let's give it a pass for now. Let's at least get here. Because I can show you what these BCs are. Shadow Beach BC, and there's a person here.
Listen,
A male blade, primordial creatures or indigents as we blades call them in these parts are vicious. It's a good idea not to engage them unless you absolutely have to. About that. They were being hostile, but we still attacked them. What about you? What have you got to say? New LA is to the northeast, but after you walk along the shoreline here, you'll need to climb uphill and circle around a bit. Yeah. I think you're right about that. Let's see how far we go. It's... Ooh, treasure. Treasure, treasure, treasure. Let's pick this up, and then I'll briefly show you. Can we just... Yes, we can. I'm not paying too much attention right now to what they're giving me. I will do a check of our inventory once we actually get to the city. In the meantime, let's take a look at this, because these buildings, they allow us to change the time manually. So right now it's midday, but we can turn back the clock to morning if we so wish, which I will. It'll afford us a bit more time before nightfall. This is another way of affecting the world, because there are certain indigents that only show up at night and others that only show up during the day. Let's follow the beach round, shall we? New LA. They do construction projects. Seriously, look at the size of those cranes on the edge. And quite a splash landing it's made in the waters of Primordia. United States, America.
wear them down from a distance.
Target in sight.
Like where this is.
Can we do this?
Sometime victory is ours.
Ooh, there we
Nice
go.
work.
We got him. Ooh, rough going. Can we get a level out of this Vortex?
Wear them down from a distance.
Come
Target
over
in
here,
sight.
Vortex.
Good. Now get in there.
Shadow strike.
Chrome armor.
Appreciated.
There you go, Elma. You have a bit of survivability now. And since you're level 5, you're not as big of a problem. You're not as big a danger as I am. This is actually working quite well.
Lightning slinger.
Elma's doing most of the damage, and
Scream
the
edge.
Vortex isn't closing distance
Appendage
on it.
destroyed. Move in and strike. Upper hand.
Let's topple.
Put some power into
Boom.
this one.
We missed. Ah,
Good. Now
Now
get in
it's
there.
my turn.
that's a stagger.
Chrome armor.
Armor again.
me
There
up.
you go.
Flame grenade.
You know, Flame Grenade fired early might be useful here, because it inflicts Blaze. Blaze is a damage over time debuff. And you see it's taking chip damage.
Now
Okay.
if we can just
Time
topple
to
them with
attack. I'll
gunfire.
topple 'em. Nice.
I can't let
Move
this
in and
new
Nice work. Pristine pincers, a pair of them. I think we broke both, or maybe just the one. The other nice thing about taking on these higher level enemies is it affords longer battles, so I can... And slightly more intense ones as well. Ooh, you're the roaches we fought before. Creeping Blatter. Let's fight one of you.
Use melee attacks.
You've only
Now
got one
it's my
appendage.
turn.
You've got the wings. And you have
Shadow
inflicted...
strike.
I can't actually tell what that debuff is.
Assault hammer.
Assault hammer.
Down you go.
And
Open
flame
fire.
grenade. That's blaze inflicted. And the damage boost. I need to check what that debuff is next time it uses it. But in the meantime, it's taking damage from the assault rifles and from the blaze effect. Blaze is worn off now.
Chrome
It seems
armor.
I'm taking the aggro.
Slinger.
Flying slash. That was a different type
Scream
of
it now.
damage.
Melee
Game and
attack.
set.
Nice work.
Last rank up. There it is. We've got Slit Edge. Advanced on Gemmels. Those are dual guns rather than assault rifle. Check items. Level 3, I wonder if they're better than Elma's current dual guns. We've also got medicinal bladder oil, fatty insect wing, and red bladder wing. Okay. They won't mean much to us for now.
Wear them down from a
Silver
distance.
challenge. Sliding
Target in
slinger.
sight.
Bingo.
Shadow strike!
Slit edge.
Side.
Assault
Stagger.
hammer. Down
Assault
you
hammer.
go.
Scream
Flame
edge.
grenade.
Open fire.
Blaze. The chip damage.
Chrome armor.
Chrome armor. Ooh, you look naked without your wings, friend. Oh, thank God. Slit Edge has got a longer, has got a shorter cooldown than Assault Hammer.
Upper
We're
hand.
actually going to use
Position.
arts more regularly with
Move
this. Level 5. That did some damage. Flying Slash. That was the
Shadow
attack it did us
strike.
with before.
Victory is ours.
We got him. Let's move.
Elma gained something there. Let's take a dip. Why not? What could possibly go wrong? As it turns out, nothing at all. Look at that horizon. You're level 5. I don't particularly fancy another 4th battle just yet. So let's instead pick up this wreckage.
Strength comes from experience. That's true on any
Elma
planet.
leveled up. We got some credits. Credits are this game's gold. That looks like our way up over there. Let's ascend. And you know what? Let's target this 4th once we get to the other side. Not the appendage though. Let's go for the head.
Wear them down from a distance.
Go for the head.
Slit edge.
Scream
Slit edge.
edge.
Very nice. Let's do the chrome armor
Chrome
early.
armor.
Shadow strike!
That's the stagger. The sword hammer comes out quick, so let's go
Assault hammer.
like that.
Flame
Flame
grenade.
takes a bit longer. That's
We're in a
still.
good position.
It didn't activate
Move
the
in.
blaze though. Yeah, that's a shame. Let's attack from a distance.
Slide nice! Move in and do some damage.
We're on the side. Let's do the slit
Put some
edge.
power into
And
this.
we got the soul voice prompt. That's very good. Elma's got the physical
That
res
put a
down.
dent in him. Move in and keep the
So
rhythm
I'll
going.
give her a chrome armor. That should negate it because that's physical res up.
Chrome armor.
I owe you one.
Bingo. Oh, yep, negates it and overrides it. Even
Edge.
better. Ooh, missed the soul voice
Upper
prompt, though.
hand. Sliding slinger.
Ooh, it's using an interesting aura here. It's using defending. This significantly reduces the damage.
Slit edge.
However, because we've broken the head, it's exposed a
This is
weak
wearing
area
me down.
underneath.
I need healing.
I should heal up first.
Yeah, what's our damage here? 2-3, 2-3, 2-3. That's fine.
Shadow strike.
Compared to the pincer,
Sliding slinger.
it's
Now
pretty much
get
the
in
same
there.
actually.
My
Never
turn.
mind.
Game and set.
We got him. Let's move.
All right, down he goes. Is that you? Up on the ledge there. Snoring indigent. More 4th. And a piece of white whale debris. Let's grab that. What do we get? Experience and credits. The usual. You're new though. Let's see what you're all about. Lake Terebra. Or Terebra. Hard to tell. You are pretty adorable actually. Let's have a look. Yeah. Big radar puppy dog ears. But more like an otter than a dog. Let's give her a try, shall we? Appendages, tail, both its ears. Let's give it a go.
Wear them down from a distance. Slit
Target in
edge.
sight. Shadow strike.
That is quite a
Nice.
splitting.
Move in and do some damage.
I'll put some power into this one. Down you go. Open fire.
Toppled.
Chrome
Early
armor.
bird.
You're pretty adorable. But you have an area of effect ability, don't you?
Appendage destroyed.
That's
Move
the,
in and
that's the
strike.
broken appendage.
I'll
On the
put
side.
some power into this
Slide
one.
nice. Move in and do some damage.
Oh, that's what it is. It's fatigue. That reduces melee attack damage.
Good. Now get in there.
So stick with range
Now
damage.
it's my turn.
Slit edge. We're in a good position.
Scream
Move in.
edge. Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
Oh, you poor thing.
Sliding slinger.
Chrome armor!
Oh, that's rough. Okay,
Slit victory is ours.
gotcha.
We got him. Let's move.
A sharp ear and Terebra water grease. That sounds disgusting. Water grease. It's like oil and water, can't
All this experience just serves to make me stronger.
Westgate Plain, new locale. I see. I briefly saw a treasure over there. I'll pass up on it though. Because we've arrived at the West Gate. Ooh, before we do, did we pick up any gear along the way? Elma picked something up. Oh, TP gain rating. Broadly indicates how easy it will be to build upon TP while fighting with it equipped. And same with the power rating. Those weren't in the Wii U Xenoblade Chronicles X, those ratings. You just had the attack, the TP gain, the cooldown, the hits, the attribute stability. I could go on and on here. There's a lot to take in just from this screen alone. I'll get to it. We'll work that out later. But we've got some upgrades we can do. Let's increase our power with the Iron Knife. And let's increase our power with the ranged weapon as well, with the Storm Assault Rifle. We're doing quite a bit more damage with that. We've got nothing there. We've got some bodywear we can put on, though. Some more armor and some more defense. And then nothing different on the upper front. And Elma cannot equip... Oh, no, sorry. That's because that's me. But if we change it to Elma... Well, she doesn't have any headgear. Didn't realize that. She didn't have any headgear. She's got iron blades. They're quite a bit stronger than what we've got. And dual guns, gemels. Her regular dual guns are 5.52. These are a downgrade. However, they do have a different damage attribute associated with them. They're beam damage, whereas the regular ones are physical. I think for the time being, power reigns supreme. Though, let's move on to Westgate. Westgate Plain. Big open space. What could possibly go wrong?
Looks a lot bigger up close, doesn't it? And this was just the habitat unit. The White Whale was one hell of a ship. Until it all came crashing down, at least. That's the West Gate. It's closed off now for security reasons. But we've repurposed a freight elevator that will get us inside.
You look quite a bit more ferocious.
Rexes. And they're riled. We can't leave them roaming here, not this close to the gate. We're gonna have to take them down.
Are you sure?
You ready?
There's 2 of us and 3 of them, and they're quite a bit bigger. What can go wrong? Multi-tutorials. The weapons you use on foot are split between melee and ranged weapons, and you can switch between them with X. Melee weapons do more damage per hit. They attack at close range. Pretty common sense. Ranged weapons, similar thing. Greater distance you can hit them. They're multi-hit. They damage less per hit. And we saw a bit of that as well. 1 hit from a knife on the 4th X was I think 13, and several hits from the assault rifle was like 2 per shot. It rounds up to about the same, I'd say. An interesting thing, however, is that each one has their own cooldown. And when you use an art, you will automatically switch over to the weapon that the art is associated with. So if you use a melee art, you will start auto-attacking with your knife. If you use a ranged art, your next auto-attack will be with your rifle. Additionally, having the melee weapon equipped or the ranged weapon equipped will increase a secondary cooldown bar. You've got your main cooldown on your art, and then you've got a secondary one, which is that yellow bar that goes around the side once the art is ready to use. and they will charge up faster if you have the corresponding weapon equipped. And they gain bonus effects if you use the art with their cooldown up. An example of that was Chrome Armor. If we used that
Didn't have
with
to
secondary
be like
cooldown
this.
up, we can immediately recast it. So what are we targeting first? Oh, let's start
Now
combat
that's
though.
how to evade. You can do it. Shadow strike.
Okay, you're our target, are we?
Slinger.
Slit edge! Assault! If we can just topple them with gunfire.
Can we achieve the secondary cooldown in time? No, we can't. However, let's give it a try all the
Flame
same.
grenade!
Flame grenade!
Step in and drive them back.
That's one down. I'm going to give Elmer a chrome
Chrome
armor.
armor!
I owe you one. Sliding slinger.
Slit edge!
appreciative.
We're in a good position. Move in!
Ooh, what did that afflict
Now,
us with?
my
It
turn.
gave us something.
Step
That's
in
another
and
one.
drive them back.
Thunder Spear with the tail. These seem to be mostly bark and no bite.
Early
So,
bird.
right now we're attacking with the assault rifle. Let me just show this in practice. Slit edge,
Slit edge! We're in a good position.
and now we're attacking
Move
with the
in.
knife. The auto switch. But then you can manually switch with X as well. 3 Grexes dealt with. Good job, Elma.
It's a shame we had to settle near so much wildlife. Luckily, some species aren't so hostile, but they aren't necessarily friendly either. I've come to learn that there's a fine line between self-defense and provoking a fight. We need to walk that line. All right, let's head in. Who knows? Maybe seeing the inside will jog your memory.
It might just. Time to follow the lady. The lady with the blades. Worn survival pants. What do you give? You're prime. That must mean you're high rarity. You've got some interesting additional effects on you. But we'll get to them a bit later. Let's take them for now. And let's not, without any further ado, let's sprint our way to the gate. Already I can see people, I can see cars, I can see machinery. I appreciate, by the way, how all around the habitat unit, that's what this is called, the crystal is all very jaggedy and pointy, but around the gate it's been chiseled away on all sides to allow the gate to open. That's a nice little visual piece there. Ooh, okay. I was thinking we'd get a landmark if we went right up to it, but no. However, ooh, you're a person, and you have a name.
Thanks.
Let's talk to you. You must be the new friend that Colonel Elmer mentioned in her report. Having just woken up after all that time, I'm sure you're dying to get home and take a shower. Unfortunately, the west gate is closed at the moment. If you want to enter the city, you'll need to use the elevator at the top of the stairs. They'll probably open the gate soon thanks to the great work you guys did killing the monsters that were causing all that trouble. But until then, you'll have to forgive the inconvenience. Please understand. Up the stairs it is. We have to walk upstairs. And take an elevator, which is already done. Presumably that's to move it up and down. The elevator's ready for use. Yep. Okay, up we go. We ascend. And take a good look at Primordia, actually. Primordia at night. Misty Plain. Where have we come from? Can we see it? No, that's not it. Where we came from is over that way, but it's concealed by the... the bulwark. I'm going to call it the bulwark. I don't know if that's actually the name for it, but... And there are actually some enemies down there that we can see the markers for. Can we target them? Yes, we can. Brass Feminist Suet. Brass Seward, Brass Seward, Brass Seward. Alright. Moving on up. Disengage. When do you think we're going to be ready to take on the big sauropod dinosaur drinking in the water over there? You look a hell of a lot littler from up top up here, but in person, yeah, I'm not chancing that. Wow. You can see quite a bit from up here. I wouldn't think they'd still have the enemies showing. But in the meantime, let's step through the threshold to what will be our home. This was the cutscene that revealed for us what the future had in store.
Well, here we are. Not too shabby, huh? For a giant beached spaceship, anyway. But, like it or not, this place is our home now. We took the name from the city it was modeled after back on Earth. We call it New Los Angeles. Welcome to NLA.
And welcome all of you, one and all, to Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition on the Nintendo Switch!
And so it was
At
that
long
another
last.
survivor came to join our band of refugees. Together, we resolved to forge a new way of life here on Mira, come what may.
It's been 9 years.
New LA was our beautiful lie to ourselves. Truth is, we were adrift, heading into the unknown. Our native home was gone, swallowed in a shroud of light. And our future was uncertain. We had no idea what fate lay in store for us. Only that we had to keep living in order to see it.
I love this game. I'm intimately familiar with it thanks to a guide for this game that I compiled some years ago. I hope to use it to help the rest of you through this game, and to help myself through it. And I can't think of any better game for me personally to make my first Let's Play.